Happy Thursday, everybody. Hope you're having a good one. Hope you can still walk because we've been doing a lot of lunges. It's my sincere hope that if you needed to modify the numbers in terms of volume, that you would have by this point. So we're back into your skill day. We're going to kind of add on to the complexity of the swing that we've been doing, all right? We're gonna talk a little bit more about some slams and starting to drive deeper into the slam itself so it's a little bit easier to catch the hammer on the rebound. And then we're gonna do a little bit more with the hips, and that one specifically for Tommy, because I know you need some hip mobility, buddy. I do too. So, thing number one, when it comes to the swing, we've already been talking about floating the swing up and switching the hands. What we're gonna do this time is this one's actually a little bit scary. And it's where I see a lot of intimidation come with the hammer, because we're actually gonna be pulling the hammer back to your body and getting comfortable with the notion that a great big piece of rubber is going to be flying at your face. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna go into the same swing, okay? And this time, instead of releasing with this hand, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of pin my elbow to my body, okay? Let the momentum of the hammer come up, and I'm gonna hinge at the elbow and bring the hammer right here towards the side of my face. I'm gonna catch it with my offhand, and then I'm just gonna push back into the swing. Bring it up and push back. The reason being, when it comes to some hand release swings, we're going to have to get used to the notion of being calm and collected as the hammer comes back at your body. And that's one of the biggest things that I see people having difficulty with, is just you're not used to something coming at you. So this is a great drill to get used to that, all right? And I'm gonna swing with my left hand so you can see the hammer, my face on the other side of the hammer, and I'm gonna turn this way so you can see how close it's actually getting. But, okay, we're going into the swing, go ahead and find one, and then right there, okay? So we're letting the elbow hinge, and I'm just catching it right there on the hand. That's how close we're dealing with it, okay? And as I push back, boom. Because what we're eventually looking to do is release that and switch the hand. Release that and switch the hand. Okay? This one takes a lot of time to really feel comfortable with, but if I'm out here catching the hammer way far away from my body, it takes a lot more strength to get that controlled. So we really have to think about receiving the hammer, almost catching it on your shoulder and pushing it back off. So that's gonna be the goal once you feel really comfortable, is being there. And when you really get it right, you should be able to balance right there pretty easily, okay? That's gonna be thing number one. Keep messing around with floating the hammer up and switching the hands, and then we'll do some pullbacks. Again, set some time, do a minute of floating hand releases, hand switches, do a minute of pullbacks per side. As you start to feel comfortable, we can start thinking about releasing that offhand and catching, okay? On the slam, hopefully these are starting to feel a lot better. What we want to think about now that we've been practicing this great position of landing on the ground is we want to think about, at the last minute, being able to drop the hips a little bit more forcefully, contract through the abs, and seeing more rebound coming out of this hammer. Because the better the rebound, provided that we're landing flat, the better the rebound, the easier it's going to be to bring the hammer up into the next swing, okay? So really give it some pop and drive it back up. So what I'm looking for here, starting with a nice swing, okay? All right, and here's what's gonna happen. When you get it just right, of course that one wasn't, when you get it just right, it's going to be easier to drive the hammer up into the next slam than it's going to be to let it swing back between your legs and get some more momentum. So practically, we're probably gonna look a bit like this. Okay, that one wasn't good, so we're going to the next swing. That one's pretty good, so I can drop right into the next swing. All right? Link together as many slams as you can when the form is good. If it doesn't hit right, go into the next swing, reset yourself, okay? There's bad reps and there's good reps, but in order to get a lot of good reps in a row, we have to do a lot of bad reps too. So think about it that way. You're just chipping away at your lot of bad reps. All right? Thing number 3, and this is going to be the hip mobility piece. We talked last time about pulling the hammer into that atomic sit-up. What we're gonna do from here today is we're gonna get into the bottom of that squat for the atomic sit-up, and then I am going to drive my knees forward and get into what's called a straddle position. We're gonna go into some hip mobility. So I'm gonna give a little adjustment to my camera here. I want y'all to see this. Nope, don't fall back. Huh. Hey, there we go. So, starting with the hammer behind the head, going into that atomic sit-up, and then we'll drive our knees forward. So, I'm here, going into the atomic sit-up, pull myself up. Now what I'm going to do is sit back on it. Then I'm going to drive up, internally rotate one leg. So I'm pulling the right knee in, the right foot in. Sit down on that. Straighten them up. Pull the right foot out. Left foot in. Sit down on that. Okay. From there, you can put the hammer down, roll over, counter rotate, and go in the opposite direction. If you're really feeling spicy, you can dig the toes in and try and drive back into the bottom of the squat, and then back into the bottom of the atomic. This is one where a couple of good reps is gonna mean a whole lot more. Gotta get low. A couple of good reps is gonna mean a whole lot more than a whole lot of reps. So really play around with that. It's a great hip opener, it's a great hip mobilizer. So hopefully you think of it that way. That's where the mobility part of the bodybuilding and mobile functionality hammer comes in. We can use this weight to drive you into deeper ranges of motion and create strength from those deeper ranges. The important thing is to remember, we're not trying to smash like with a real hammer. Like, we're not trying to do that to get your joints to open up, because that's gonna hurt you. So yeah, play around with that stuff. A minute of each one, work for like an hour. Give yourself a nice warm up, nice cool down, 10 minutes apiece. Yeah, and we should be doing some pretty good stuff. So enjoy, please post some video. It's gonna be really fun getting everybody on the same page of, my hips hurt. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.